Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. Today is an Empties and New Products day, and if you are new to my channel, Empties and New Products is a series that I do every now and then. Basically the love child between a haul video and an Empties video. I share with you all the products that I have used up lately and the new products that are taking their place. Let's start with skincare. I have a vitamin C serum here, the Vitamin C Brightening Drops from Indeed Labs. The name Brightening Drops, I think you're supposed to be able to drop them in your moisturizer or mix them up with other serums or whatever, but I just use this standalone as a vitamin C serum applied on clean skin every morning, and I really enjoyed this product. This got me through winter. It's a great alternative to a more intense vitamin C serum. It doesn't contain L-ascorbic acid. It contains a vitamin C derivative. So if you're somebody that tends to break out from a lot of vitamin C serums, or you tend to experience some irritation or some stinging, you want to just ease into things. You want something a little bit less intense. This product is great. I experienced zero breakouts, zero irritation. The brightening results were there. They weren't as dramatic as with a more intense vitamin C serum, but I still noticed some benefits. And of course, you get antioxidant protection. I really enjoyed this product. It didn't smell like anything. It was very cosmetically elegant. It layered really beautifully with the rest of my skincare, and this is definitely a serum that I would revisit. The vitamin C serum I'm using right now is the latest from Skinceuticals. This is Silymarin CF, and it's their newest vitamin C serum geared towards oily, acne-prone skin, which is my skin type, especially, as the weather gets warmer, my skin gets a bit oilier. And the original CE Ferulic from Skinceuticals did not work for my skin. That broke me out. So I was never like a diehard CE Ferulic fan. I do like the Floritin CF vitamin C from Skinceuticals, but the Silymarin CF has the same concentration of vitamin C. It also contains ferulic acid, but this has the addition of the silymarin, which is supposed to help, balance out oil production over time. And this also contains some salicylic acid, which again helps keep the pores clear. It helps, fight against congestion. And so far, so good. I've been using this, I'm a third of the bottle down. I've been using this for the last month. I haven't experienced any breakouts. I haven't experienced any irritation. So I'm excited about this. I'll keep you posted in terms of brightening results. It does take a bit longer to assess those results, but so far I'm really happy with this. It does have the hot dog water scent that a lot of these L-ascorbic acid vitamin C products tend to have, but it doesn't really bother me. All right, next up I have about a year's worth of sunscreen empties, and I will start with my least favorite, and it's the Vichy Ideal Soleil SPF 60. When I do these videos, I do try to have a few empties in the same category so that when I do present them to you, I can kind of give you some comparing and contrasting. I feel like that's a useful element to have sometimes. And this is a mineral sunscreen. I just didn't enjoy this. It felt really greasy and heavy on my skin. I also didn't love the tint. It felt like a chore to use this. And in order for me to want to use sunscreen every single day, and sunscreen is such an important step, I have to like the texture, and it has to be something I look forward to using every day. Otherwise, if I dread it and if I view it like a chore, I'm less likely to be consistent with it. So this was just not my favorite. It truly felt like a chore to use it up. Now, the next sunscreen favorites that I have are all excellent, and I would repurchase all of them. I actually did a blog post, I think last year, with my top 5 favorite facial sunscreens, and a lot of these were in that post. This is the La Roche-Posay Anthelios 50 Shaka Fluid Invisible Ultra Resistant SPF, no fragrance, silky feeling, transparent. It's a chemical filter. Unfortunately, we cannot buy this in the United States. I also don't think you can buy it in Canada. I find La Roche-Posay sunscreens so difficult to navigate because, it's a worldwide brand. It's available in so many places, but I feel like they do some regional changes to their names, to their packaging. Sometimes it's the same product with different names. Sometimes it's different products, but just subtle changes. This was great. I really, really enjoyed this. It did make me a bit shiny. Like, I wouldn't wear this at the height of summer. I think if you have drier skin, you can wear this in the summer without any problems. Maybe not a summer sunscreen for me, but I did really like the texture. A really great summer sunscreen for me was the Shiseido Urban Environment Oil-Free UV Protector. This is a combination sunscreen, so there is both mineral and chemical sunscreen filters in here. Absolutely love this. It does have a fragrance. It has a very, very light, clean, fresh kind of scent. I actually really like the fragrance in this. And this was fantastic. This has such great oil control, and this is like a go-to summer sunscreen for me. This and the Fenty skin tint makes such a beautiful combination. I do have a backup of it. I haven't opened it yet because I'm using something else right now, but I really, really love this sunscreen. Next, I used up the Paula's Choice Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. Love this too. Again, beautiful under makeup. This is a chemical sunscreen. There's no fragrance in it. It just kind of smells like sunscreen. Feels really nice and light and silky on the skin. Just an all-around great sunscreen, best suited for normal, oily, and combination skin. So really like this. I would definitely buy this again as well. Then my most recent sunscreen, Empty, the Dr. Loretta Urban Antioxidant Sunscreen, Broad Spectrum SPF 40. This was the sunscreen that I used this winter, and I really enjoyed this. This felt a bit more moisturizing than the Paula's Choice, but it was also really velvety. It never made me feel, you know, it never felt cloying on my skin. It never made me extra shiny. It felt just beautifully balancing in a way. And this also contains some extra bells and whistles in terms of helping protect the skin against pollution and helping protect the skin against light. Yes, it says here, this advanced sunscreen protects skin from the 4 external factors responsible for more than 85% of skin aging: pollution, light, climate, and irritants. So this is a more expensive product. It contains some extra antioxidants. This is also a combination sunscreen, so there are both physical and chemical filters. Has a slight herbal scent to it, but again, I actually really, really liked the scent of this. Worked so beautifully under makeup, and that's actually how I discovered this product. It was featured by Andrea Ali in a video. I think she did a video maybe like a year ago with her favorite sunscreens to wear under makeup, and this was one of them. The sunscreen that I'm currently using is one that I've been talking about for years. I've been repurchasing this for years. This is my favorite mineral sunscreen, and it's the Skinceuticals Physical Fusion. It's SPF 50. It's a tinted mineral sunscreen. So unfortunately, the tint is not suitable for everyone. It's a very odd tint. It's almost like a grayish neutral undertone. It's very, very sheer. It doesn't give any coverage on the skin or anything, but if you have very, very fair skin, this would obviously, you know, show up on your skin more. And if you have deeper skin, this has the tendency to look a bit grayish. You got to be careful sometimes with these tinted sunscreens because the tints are certainly not universally flattering, and they work better for some skin tones than they do others. So if you usually wear the same type of foundation shades that I do, I think you can try this without any issues. I really enjoy this sunscreen. It again wears beautifully under makeup. I also like to wear this by itself. This is my go-to sunscreen to bring with me if I'm going on a beach vacation or if I'm spending any time outside. I can reapply it every 2 hours, and it reapplies nicely on top of itself. It doesn't have any added fragrance. It does smell like, it smells like ingredients, essentially. To me, it's a very earthy scent. It's like earth and plastic kind of scent. It's not like the most pleasant scent in the world, but it doesn't linger on the skin. Once you apply this, it doesn't really smell like anything. Let me know what your current favorite sunscreen is in the comments below. I always get such great recommendations from you, so I'm all ears. I want to know what sunscreen you're loving right now, so let me know in the comments. Moving on to moisturizers, I also have about a year's worth of moisturizer empties. Starting with my least favorite, this was the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Berry Air Cream. This had like a mousse whipped air texture, and I found it really weird. The mousse texture didn't really give me anything other than just an interesting texture. It did feel really wet on the skin, and it was quite nice and hydrating, but because it was like a whipped air mousse texture, I felt like half the jar was just air, so I had to use a lot more product to get the desired level of moisture and hydration. I went through this really, really quickly, and it's just not something that I would revisit or that I would recommend. Next, I used up the Dr. Zenovia Clear Complexion Aloe Vera Blemish Soothing Moisturizer. This was a really great no muss, no fuss, warm weather moisturizer for me. It felt really nice and lightweight. Dr. Zenovia is such an underrated brand. I never hear people talk about it. I think it's great. You can find it at Sephora in the United States. The ingredients that they use are fantastic. Excellent, well-formulated basics geared towards acne-prone skin. You won't find anything irritating in any of their products. There's no added fragrance or anything. It's all just very much like science-driven and scientifically proven ingredients. So I was a fan of this moisturizer. I would definitely revisit. My favorite things from the brand are their benzoyl peroxide products. I am a benzoyl peroxide girl, so whenever I do break out, I love their cleanser and their benzoyl peroxide spot treatment, but there's some great products in this range. It's definitely a range worth checking out, especially if you are acne prone. I also used up the Balancing Moisturizer from Omorovicza. This was, again, a really great lightweight moisturizer. One pump really went a long way. I enjoyed this, but I just find this very, very expensive for what it is and what it does. I would love to try the silver moisturizer from this brand. I hear amazing things about it, so that one is on my wish list to try. But so far, everything I've tried from Omorovicza has been, like, it's been nice, but it hasn't really blown me away. I have other moisturizers that I prefer, namely these two. These two are still like favorites, like holy grail products for me. My holy grail winter moisturizer, the Skinceuticals Triple Lipid Restore. I buy one every winter. I use one up every winter. Sometimes I use up two in a winter if it's a really bad winter. Absolutely love this moisturizer. It just has such a beautiful texture. It gives me the perfect amount of moisture. It feels nourishing, it feels soothing, but it never feels cloying or overwhelming on my skin. And then my favorite like spring, fall moisturizer is the Reversa Collagenique cream. This is like a lighter sister to the Skinceuticals Triple Lipid Restore. Such a beautiful moisturizer. This you can only find in Canada, so I'm lucky that I live really close to the border, so I can always run over to Shoppers and get a backup of this. It's lightweight, but it does give a nice amount of moisture to the skin. I think, again, if you're somebody with normal, combination, slightly oily skin, you will love this. If you're super, super dry, this might not be enough for you. I can use this morning and night, layer so nicely with everything else. It's just a joy to use. So use this up and I miss it already. The moisturizer I'm using right now was sent to me in PR from Lord Jones, and it's the Acid Mantle Repair Moisturizer. It's very thick. It's very thick and buttery. It's very thick and rich and buttery. The texture, I can't say I love. Like, I like this moisturizer, but I don't love it. And it's because of the texture. It's just a tiny bit too rich for my liking. I don't like the feeling of anything that's too oily on my skin. It does feel really nice, and it doesn't make me look oily. Has a slight, like, there's no added fragrance in it, but it smells a little bit like cannabis because, you know, the CBD, there's CBD in it. Contains 250 milligrams of CBD. The key to this product for me has been just applying a very small amount. I use like a pea-size amount of this, and that's enough for me. If I use too much, it can feel a bit too cloying on my skin. But if I use a small amount, it actually makes my skin feel really, really nice. It's just not my personal favorite texture. But if you like a richer moisturizer texture, I think you would really like this. The ingredients are excellent. I have some setting spray empties. I have 2 empties of the Clarins Fix Makeup setting spray. This is probably my most repurchased product from Clarins. I've been buying this product for years, and I really enjoy it. This is what it usually looks like. This is the permanent version. It has a very lovely light rose scent, but what they've been doing for the last 2-3 years maybe is release like limited edition scents with their spring and summer collection. So this was the last summer scent, which was really nice. And then of course I have a new one. This is the current spring limited edition scent. This just has a slightly different floral scent. And I love this setting spray, not for like extra longevity purposes. This is just my favorite setting spray to use year round, like as a refresher, because I like to use setting powder every single day. So I like to have a setting spray to use on top of powder that just kind of takes away the powdery look, and it just makes everything kind of mesh together and melt together, and it just makes my makeup look really nice. Then I also bought the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray because curiosity got the best of me, and I keep hearing all these rave reviews about this product. So I added, this is the small, I think this is the mini size of the bottle. I added this to my cart during the Sephora VAB sale. I've used it a couple times just to kind of get a feeling of it, and it's nice. It smells nice. It's like a very, it's like a fruity floral type of scent. The mist, it's not as a refreshing of a mist as the Clarins. The Clarins is like Fix Plus, think refreshing, hydrating. This feels like it's got some more stuff in it. Like I can feel it has all these polymers in it that are supposed to help like lock your makeup in. So I can almost feel those on my skin. This is alcohol free, so that kind of sets it apart from something like Urban Decay All Nighter. But I have yet to party all night with it. And it says here on the bottle, you have to party all night and it will stay all day. So I'll let you know once I party all night with this on. I'll let you know the results. But so far, going to bed at 9 p.m. Next, I have some mascara empties. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes Mascara, which really surprised me. I was not expecting to love this mascara. This was sent to me in PR, and I actually really like this. This was great. A really nice volumizing mascara. It did smudge on me a little bit at the end of the day, so it would not be an everyday, like long day mascara for me. It would just be like a few hours, like an evening mascara, but it did give really nice volume. And I used up the Ilia mascara. This is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I absolutely loved this mascara. Such a great lengthening and lifting formula. Has a very strange wand. It's like a plastic wand with a comb on one side, and then it's got like traditional bristles on the other side, but then, you know, so you see that comb part there. So it really just separated and lengthened my lashes, held a curl really nicely as well. Whenever I paired this with my lash primer, I could get this to stay all day, and it held a curl so beautifully. This is like right up there with Lancome Lash Idol in terms of like favorite mascaras that I've tried over the last year. The two mascaras that I'm using right now are also mascaras that I'm really happy with. I have the Pat McGrath Fetisheyes mascara. This is a great volumizing mascara formula. Kind of reminds me of like just the good old faithful L'Oreal Carbon Black, like L'Oreal Voluminous kind of vibe, but it does last a little bit longer on my eyes. I find that it holds a curl really nicely. And then for an everyday mascara, the Merit mascara has been really great. This is a tubing formula. So tubing mascara formulas operate a little bit differently from traditional mascara formulas in that it actually like coats each lash in little tubes. It's a lot more resistant to any like oiliness or temperature changes throughout the day, but they still remain really easy to remove at night. You can just remove this with a little bit of warm water. It's very much like an everyday fluttery lash. It gives me a beautiful length and separation. It has a traditional kind of wand. It's a brush applicator. It's nice and thin, so you can get in there. I don't like it when the wand is too big. I find that a little bit, sometimes I can poke myself in the eye with it. This is really easy to maneuver. This is a great mascara to try if you like Hourglass Unlocked mascara, if you liked the Glossier mascara. This is kind of along the same lines. Moving on from eyelashes to eyebrows, I used up the Anastasia Brow Freeze. This took about 1.5 years of almost daily use to use it up, and I really enjoyed this. This was a great product to really just kind of give me that laminated effect, and I was really into that look for a good year, but now I'm not really into that look anymore, so I haven't repurchased. In terms of brow gel, I used up the Kosas Air Brow, and then I repurchased another one in the Sephora VAB sale. This is my favorite tinted brow gel. It gives me the perfect amount of volume, gives me great hold, and the shade Soft Brown is just great. It's just like a little bit lighter than my original brow hair color, so it just kind of lifts my lifts the color of my brows a little bit, and it just makes it work with the highlights in my hair a bit better. For brow pen, I used up my NYX brow pen in the shade Ash Brown, and I repurchased it again. This is like my holy grail brow pen. Absolutely love this for filling in any bald spots, and this is just my favorite. I've tried the Anastasia one, I've tried the Glossier one, I've tried the Ardell Stroke Brow. This has been my favorite. It works for me, so this is what I'm going to keep repurchasing. I also have the new Westman Atelier Bond Brow Defining Pencil. This is in the shade Clay. This was sent to me in PR, and this is great for when I'm in a rush, and if I don't have time for my 4-step brow routine, I can just toss this through my brows really, really quickly, give myself, you know, a bit of filling in, just that same angled, slightly wider tip. Really nice formula, really nice pigment, and I like the fact that the spoolie at the end is something that you twist, so it's not going to break off. There's no gel or anything in here. This is just a completely dry spoolie, but it's a nice way to keep things secure, and it's a great size spoolie, nice quality. Next, I have a concealer empty. This was the Pat McGrath concealer, and I absolutely love this. I had this in the shade Light Medium 10, which is the same shade that I have in the foundation, and I think if I repurchase this, I would get shade 9. Sometimes it worked, but sometimes I could just feel like I could see the extra peachiness of it on my face. So I would repurchase this. I really enjoyed this as a fuller coverage under eye concealer option, but I would want to explore a different shade. It wasn't cakey or anything. Really nice and long wearing as well. My mouth is getting dry. I feel like I've been talking for so long. I have 2 lipstick empties here. These are discontinued now. Another great lipstick formula bites the dust. The L'Oreal Color Riche Shine shade Luminous Coral. If you followed me for a while, you know how much I love this. I have like just a tiny little stub left because I actually wanted to show you how it compares with my newest lipstick love that has kind of replaced it in my collection, and it's the Dior Mimi Rose from the new Addict lipsticks. They're very close. Mimi Rose is more pink, but they certainly, you know, occupy the same space in my makeup drawer. So you can see here, Luminous Coral is a bit more orange. Mimi Rose is a little bit more pink, but still that beautiful peachy bright coral shade that I love to wear in the summertime. And then I also used up this Jouer Essential Balm. This has a really long name, and I always forget the name, but it's the Essential Lip Enhancer Shine Balm from Jouer. This is another great product. If you like these types of like sheer but buildable pigment, cushiony, nourishing, with a slight shine type of lip formula, this is a great one to try. This is in the shade Peony. Yeah, I used it all up. You can barely scrape it out here, but you can see this is just like a nice soft pink color. It's not like the most unique color of all time, but I did really enjoy using this. I finally used up my Burberry contour wand. This was probably my 2nd or 3rd over the years. This is my favorite cream contour product. Unfortunately, I think it's discontinued now. I don't know if Burberry Beauty is just going away altogether, but this is a great one. This is just a great all-around contour product. This is in the shade Medium. Really easy to blend out. Again, I saved like a tiny little nub at the end just so I can give you a little swatch so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is a great contouring product. Super, super easy to blend. But I have a new contour product and I'm loving it. This I love even more than the Burberry, so it's a really great replacement, and it's from Westman Atelier. It's the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit. This is the lightest of the 3 shades that Westman Atelier offers, but as you can see here, it's a way more contour appropriate shade. It genuinely looks like a shadow. It's got that beautiful neutral undertone. Really, really beautiful. Blends like a dream. You can really get a more intense contour with it or a really, really diffused natural look depending on how much you blend it. You can keep blending and it blends away to nothing. I chose this color because I like my contour to be a bit more on the subtle side. I do have quite strong cheekbones naturally. So even when I do want to kind of play that up and I want to enhance, I still want to play it safe, and I want still like a subtle enhancement. I think if a texture is really, really easy to work with, I think that's the sign of a great product. So big fan of this. And that concludes today's Empties and New Products. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite sunscreen is right now in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.